Most college students believe that wealth is built with a well-paying job after graduation, and that's where they're wrong. The truth is that wealth is built way earlier than that. It's actually built while you're in college and well before your first real paycheck. Just going off of what I've seen at my school, it looks like the average college student has less than like $3,000 in their bank account. They have no investment portfolio, and they all have an extreme problem with lifestyle inflation. On the opposite end of things, students on a wealthy trajectory focus on core principles like low expenses, getting out of debt, high earning skills, early investing, saving, and building clean credit. Wealth isn't just about income, it's about leveraging yourself. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 pillars that have helped me build a $10,000 portfolio at just 20 years old as a full-time college student. If you clicked on this video, you're already one step ahead of the competition. This channel is a community of like-minded, focused college students who really want to build wealth and value in their lives. If you like the video, consider subscribing and joining us. None of this is financial advice. This is just what worked for me. Pillar one is going to be controlling your expenses like a weapon. This is where most guys our age fail. Most dudes in their 20s, especially in college, spend their money with no discipline. We all know the guys in our school who spend money with no second thought on things like subscription services, too much beer, drugs, door dashing, all their meals, right? Huge car payments, and something that is basically everywhere now, which is sports betting. Guys, if you can get control over your expenses, you can start to get ahead of the competition. One way you can start controlling your expenses is by tracking them. Track all your purchases. Every single purchase you make needs to be tracked. There are lots of apps out there like Mint that are good. What I personally do is I go in and I make a Google sheet from the ground up where I track all my expenses every month, every single thing I purchase, right? Every penny, every dime. You could also do Excel if that's your thing. The bottom line here is that you need to get your expenses under control before you can start leveraging yourself and building serious wealth. Okay, so the next pillar here is you want to start building a high leverage income. What I mean by this is you should focus on developing your skill set. If you can find a way to monetize your skill set for whatever your desired career or major is, that will set you like miles ahead of everyone else. In other words, right, whatever job or hustle you do in college to increase your income should also develop your skill set, if that makes sense. You can't just work for money, you have to work for skill and for, I guess, building a resume. Focus on part-time jobs that build your resume. Things like becoming a tutor at your school, remote high-paying skills like this can be editing, design, photography. If any of that correlates with your dream job or your desired career, then go for that. Another thing that works too are elite internships, the best ones your school has to offer that relate to your major. These will make you stand out amongst the rest of the students. And hey, they're even better if they offer a paycheck, so look for some of those. Your income in college should train you and it should also build you. It's more than just about a paycheck. Okay, pillar three is going to be building your emergency fund. This is a boring one, but it's one of the most important ones that you need to get taken care of before you can start building wealth early on. Once you've taken care of your expenses by budgeting and you started earning some form of income, that will actually benefit your skill set, right? That's an important thing to note. You need to start building your emergency fund. This can be anywhere from 6 months to a year in living expenses. Some people say 3 to 6. I like 6 to 12 months, okay? 6 months to a year, because you never know what could happen. Before we start aggressively building the habits that will compound into real wealth over time, we have to put our emergency fund in place. God forbid anything terrible happens to you, this fund can come in handy. You know, life happens and you could have an unexpected medical payment. Maybe, you take a ride in the ambulance. Maybe you get in a car crash and you have to pay for vehicle repairs, insurance, or even a surprise bill could pop up from school. I've heard stories where dudes don't graduate because they have an outstanding balance with their school. So if anything like that comes up, this is where the emergency fund comes in handy. A good place to build the emergency fund is going to be your high yield savings account. Most of these are about 3.3% APY right now. Banks like Discover, Capital One, SoFi, Goldman Sachs, they have good high yield savings accounts that are all FDIC insured. So basically, you put your money in there, and if the bank collapsed or failed overnight, the US government would insure that money and you would get the money back. Putting your emergency fund in a high yield savings account is also good because it grows over time faster than a normal savings would. For example, with the current interest rate, if you had $10,000 in your high yield savings account, you would get around 330 bucks a year in passive income for just holding it there. Keeping some money in cash isn't a bad idea either, just because it's liquid and you can easily access it and use it in case of emergencies. Okay guys, pillar 4 is where things start getting interesting. The goal here is to start investing early, even if the amount is small. It's important to start loading up on assets, on good assets at this age. Whether you want to build up a Roth IRA for yourself, buying up quality index funds and stock, ETFs, all that stuff like VU, which track the S&P 500. I throw about 50 bucks a week into the market every time I get paid. You could even start loading up on Bitcoin and other crypto if that's your thing too. What I do is I contribute about $20, just 20 bucks DCA, dollar cost average, every time I get paid. The most important thing that you have to remember when investing in quality assets is that time in the market always beats timing the market. Nobody can predict the market consistently, okay? If you can put a small portion of your paycheck into the market every month, you'll set yourself apart from the competition in the long term. Compound interest is genuinely overpowered. Albert Einstein even called it the eighth wonder of the world. If you were to invest just $100 every month throughout your 4 years in college, that money would grow to $5,715.61. If you let that money sit there until you were 50, it would be worth $82,424.78. Right, all of this is assuming a 10% annual return that the market usually gives us. Some years it can be more, and some years it can be less. The goal here is to take advantage of compound interest and give yourself the change in identity that you are smart with your money. You're an investor now. You invest a portion of your bank account, of your paycheck, into assets that work for you. These are habits that build wealth in the long term. Pillar 5 is going to be one that honestly, it deserves its own separate video in the future because it's so misunderstood and demonized to all of us, when we were growing up. And what I'm talking about here is properly utilizing credit cards to your advantage. This pillar adds huge value to your toolkit for building wealth. Add one, just one, high quality cashback credit card to your loadout. Most of us in college aren't traveling a lot, so there's no need for us to have one that gives hotels or airline rewards. Just a simple cashback reward is essential to building wealth these days. Make sure you pay the card in full, obviously. Treat it as a debit card. Only spend the money you have. Credit cards have some of the most predatory interest rates, so it's absolutely key here to use them properly. Credit cards are overall essential to building a solid credit score, especially early on when there aren't as many consequences. This builds future leverage for any substantial purchases. This could be a house, car, or any real estate investment you want to get into in the future. Typically, you get better interest rates with a higher credit score. So if you don't already use a credit card, consider adding one to your loadout. And there you have it, guys. These are the 5 pillars for wealth building in college. Just to close it out here, you don't need to be rich in college. You need to leave college prepared to be rich. That's the difference. That's how you're going to accomplish your goals. Again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just a 20-year-old college student sharing what worked for me. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching and take care, guys.